cross multiplying, and then number 3. Actually, no, sure. I'd like really like for you to do number 3 before I do. Number 3 is the one I'm wondering if you're gonna make a mistake on. I'm looking. I don't see a whole lot of number 3s on your paper. I feel held back. Only 4 should be rounded. The rest of those you can leave in fraction form as answers. Yeah, simplify, reduce. Maybe I take volunteers. Okay, if you want to come up and show all of your work, the cross multiplication and then the inverse operation to isolate your variable, I give you extra credit point. Who wants number 1? Will, who wants number 2? Patrick, who wants number 3? Michaela, 4? Thomas. Decrease. Okay, any questions about these on the board? So everybody agrees 35.09. Alright, very good. Alright, let's do some more. Can you see both of these? Yeah, you can see that. I mean, it could be right there. The price per share of a stock decreased from $90 to $36. By what percent did the stock decrease? That happened to Bitcoin. Didn't it? In January. When was that?
They predicted the future.
July? It was in April. It dropped huge. It was from like 80 cents down to like 10 cents, I think. It dropped a lot. And
Bitcoin goes for like 50,000.
yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Dogecoin, yeah.
No, is it Dogecoin? Which one am I thinking of? Which is the one that Elon Musk was talking about in April. And then he went on Saturday Night Live and then it all dropped. Anybody? Dogecoin? I meant Dogecoin.
It hit $1 and then it just dropped.
I don't think it did hit $1 though.
It's like 90.
It was supposed to. Maybe.
It was really close.
And then it dropped like right after. So if you didn't sell, you lost a lot of money.
I made a lot.
So are people still holding on to Dogecoin even though it went down? Is it going to go back up again? I think so. Maybe not as much as Bitcoin. I'm looking around. Who's got their ratio set up? Who's got their proportion? The amount of change over the original equals P over 100. So looks like it changed by 54. Everybody put 54 in their first numerator. And so it decreased from 90. That means 90 was the original. We're not sure the percent. It's asking about the percent. Equals 100. That's your setup. Do your cross multiplication. 5,400 equals 90p. And what you guys get for your answer? 60% decrease. My point was in talking about the yeah, but how do you what's the word for all cryptocurrency? Stocks do drop this much. Sometimes instantly and sometimes over a long time. It can increase 60%. Alright, number 2 just or number 6 just looks like a two-part problem. Tickets to the county fair, $8 for adults, 5 for a child. You have 15% discount. How much will 2 adult tickets and 2 children tickets cost? So, what's a great strategy here for this two-part problem? What are you thinking we should do first?
Let's find how much the cost of the 2 adult tickets and the 2 child tickets.
Let's start with the second part of the problem first. Let's just find how much the tickets are, and then we'll start worrying about the discount. Find your total cost, and then set up your person with your discount. Answer in a complete sentence. We have 2 adult tickets at $8 each. 2 child tickets at $5 each. So our cost before the discount is $26. So we don't know what the discount's going to be. So we're going to put X on top. Our cost is 26. Our percentage is now known at 15 over 100. When the percentage is known in the problem, if they provide a percent, you put that in the P spot. It's gonna be like $3.90. It is. Take it to the county fair. How much will? Okay. Have we answered the question at $3.90? No. Still more to this problem. We're gonna take that away from the cost. What's your final answer, Patrick?
I got
Is that accurate to go to the fair?
Yeah.
$8 to get in there?
Well,
$5.
this county fair's like
No, not ours. How much is it?
ours is not that much.
No,
Yeah, but you get the bracelet and
The bracelet's like $20.
so basically it's like $50 just to get the race.
Last one. This is it. Last one. Dominic, will you read number 7? So what people do before they buy stock is they research it. So they're looking at the stocks today and it's 135, but they know it recently increased, so they're going to figure out, so what was this worth 1 year ago? And has it been stable? Is this a good investment? This is just like the last problem we did in Belwork yesterday. When you don't know the original cost. Okay, the original is unknown. So this is our 3rd time doing this in class. Which is not a lot. There's not a lot of repetitions. Can you find where you wrote it down yesterday? Did you write it down yesterday? This is our 3rd problem where the original is unknown. The most difficult of the percent change problems when the original is unknown. Yesterday, walked on, I said I'll give extra credit to anybody who gets it, and everybody was just about 100,000 off because it was like something 0.6 million. This is like the cruise ship problem.
Yeah, I got it.
So the change is 135.
The change is what?
135.
No, that's the current price. Or Libby, what have you put in so far to the proportion? Alright, you got half of it, right?
When you put 135 minus X.
Yeah, we don't know how much the price changed by. But every time that we're figuring out the change, we're subtracting the original and the new. So we're going to do the new minus the original. What's the original? We don't know. We don't know the original. That's the variable. The original's unknown. All right, so even if you couldn't write it, try to solve it. So go ahead, write it down right now and try to solve it. You got an answer? That's good. Would you invest in that tech company? You gotta know what technology it is, right? What if it was a self-driving car? People are buying them. What if it was a space shuttle taking regular people to outer space? Anybody who wants to go. What if it was those 3D video games? What are those called? Yeah, what if it's VR? Are you investing in VR?
I will never do that. What if they never Well. That's what happened. Nice.
Did you divide, Logan?
Yeah.
Are you doing everything I am?
I did that.
Got 160.8.
So I'm going to answer in a complete sentence. I'm going to say last year, the tech stock was worth 116.18 per share. So buy it. Buy one. Buy one. Sit on it. Keep it till you're old. When will you trade it, Asher? Well, everybody who has retirement has some money invested. So like today, I mean, most people, as you're working, your retirement fund, a portion of it is invested. So the majority is picked by somebody else whose job it is all day to study stocks, and they get a portion of the profit, so they want it to do well, so they're motivated by that. So you just kind of put your trust in the people who are running your account. So that's finance, you guys. Who wants to go into finance? Full career. Yes, I mean, yes, you guys. More people raise your hands. More people. Okay, let's just go over homework answers now. Does finance and stocks seem too risky for you? What's less? You're just sitting at a computer. What do you want to do, Lily? Like, what's fun? What's fun? Something really active. You will solve equations for given variables and use formulas. So, the theme of this is called literal equations. Literal. What is literacy? Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, you don't have this paper. Who else doesn't have it? What are that? The other side we did on Tuesday. An equation that like involves just variables. No. Don't say what I said. Involves several variables. I'm gonna pull the AKA of formula. Okay. Literal equations are also known as formulas. Now formulas are like really common literal equations, but in the Algebra 1 curriculum, they can just give you any equation with just tons of variables, and they call it a literal equation. So this can be a really challenging section. What you have to do is just figure out what variable you're being challenged to isolate, and then do opposite operations to isolate that specific variable. This says solve for B. So you're looking at all of these variables with the goal of just isolating B. So you're going to move things around, cancel things out until the B is alone. Hello? Okay. Extra special. Okay, so just opposite operations, right? So just cancel everything out. So I'll put a line in. Here's B. I want to get it alone. The first thing I'll do is, and every single problem looks different. So I'd love to be able to like write steps down for you, but there is no universal steps for this. It's just find a variable, get it alone. So for this particular problem, I would start by subtracting 12c from both sides. When you subtract, you cannot combine. There's no like terms. So my new problem is 5b equals 9 minus 12c. And I'm one step away of getting b alone. What's that step, Mikhail? How do I get b alone? Yep, here it is. What's happening to it? We're going to divide 5. We divide 5 here and here. And our new equation has b alone. The 5's cancel out. And over here, we just have this hideous fraction, 9 minus 12c over 5. And students don't like this because you don't feel like you have solved for b because there's still so many other variables. But the truth is, if there's more than one variable in an equation, you're never truly solving for it. You're just rearranging the equation until your variable is alone. Okay, so this one follows really similar steps. Go ahead and try it. It says to isolate n. It says solve for n. It could say solve for p, but they've asked you to get n alone, so focus your eyes in on n, where n's at. Put the line in. Tyler, what's our first step? Minus 6p on both sides of the line. And here, there's more than one right way. You can do 15 minus 6p or negative 6p plus 15, either way. Will, what's our last step? Who wants to take this one step further? Anybody? Anybody? Somebody. What do I mean? There's something special going on here. All numbers. If you can divide all numbers by the same factor, if you can reduce it, you're required to reduce it. Look, it just so happens that 15 can be divided by 3 and so can 6. So we're reducing everything. So you could have negative 2p plus 5 or 5 minus 2p equals n. So this is it for chapter 2. This whole chapter is just about solving equations. So this last section is solving equations, getting lots of variables, just picking a variable and using the opposite operations to get that guy alone. So you have a test Wednesday. This is the last thing on it. Okay, so what are we challenged to get a loan here, Dominic? This one. So here it is. This is the one we want to get a loan. What's our best first step, Lauren? Yeah, times by 5. This, by the way, there's a guaranteed question like this on your exam. Guaranteed SAT question. Just pick a variable, do opposite operations to get it a loan. So when it's one big fraction, you want to try to get rid of the fraction. So we multiply by 5, which cancels. Here's k. What's our last step in getting k a loan? Add 2. You did it, you solved for k.
You know what's the strongest one? What do you know what it's called? Oh, it's that's what they call it, type of eye. Set it move. It's inside like a like your own visual like this people for the eyes.
Yeah, I like the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Never say that word without impact.
Without context. Give me yours. Should like from distance. Why did you?
Just a minute. I see that A is a little bit more confusing than I had thought so. I don't know, guys. Let's talk about not distributing. How about? I'm gonna show you. I think in one step. Yeah, I don't know why you plus sign it. Yeah, I think we can do this in one step. It's unexpected. Until you've seen someone do it, it's unexpected how it can be done. So this is multiplication right here, right? So I'm dying to distribute because we always distribute, but actually, if my goal is to get this guy alone, maybe I just divide both sides by this whole quantity of r plus 4. Take the whole group and divide both sides by r plus 4. And that cancels. R plus 4 over r plus 4 cancels. And now I have 28 over r plus 4 equals t. One step. Who would have thought? So that's a real challenge because the whole chapter I want you distributing. And just now I'm saying, well, when it comes to having more than one variable, maybe distribution isn't the best bet. That's a challenge. Man, that is a challenge. You could, but I don't want to. I'm not going to distribute. I'm trying to get this little guy in here alone, this Q. So actually, I'm gonna divide A over. Too many letters. Q minus 8 equals 23 over A. Last step, how do you get Q alone? Add 8. I can't actually add 8 because that's a fraction. So I'm going to do 23 over A plus 8. Q is alone. I'm going to box it. All right, I'm going to stop at that one. You guys have an assignment on the board. I want you to work on it until the bell. Don't pack up early. Work on it until the bell.